Here's a little hack that I use to write killer VSLs that crush it on cold traffic. I call this the 3 VSL method. I don't see a lot of people doing this, but it works really well for me in terms of getting the right prospects on the phones, getting them bought in, making sure they are ready to go, ready to buy before the call. So the reason why I call this the 3 VSL method is because every single time that I write a VSL, I actually write 3 separate VSLs. Now, this may sound like a lot of work, but it actually isn't. It actually is just a little bit of an extra step that makes an enormous difference in the results that you're getting on your ads. So when I first write VSLs, I always write kind of an enormous long form, like 15-page VSL. It is very, very thorough. It covers every single aspect of the offer. And, it's just a very long VSL. It's very research-based, very data-backed. Every single piece of information that I could possibly think of, I am putting it in that VSL. So it's a traditional long form 15-20 minute VSL. That is what I always start with right off the bat. So once I knock that out, I actually do kind of like the opposite. So I'll take that long form VSL and I will transform it into a short form VSL. So basically I'll take, the 15, 20 pages of whatever I wrote for that long form one and transform it into like a 2 to 3 quick, very short form VSL. Now from there, I'll either run both of them or I'll choose the one that I like the most and then run that. So now I have a long form VSL, I have a short form VSL, and I can use a mix. Sometimes I'll run the short form VSL on ads, I'll run the long form VSL on my email list on organic, or sometimes, I'll just test them both, see who does better. Now, what's the third VSL? That's the big question here. So for the third VSL, all I'm gonna do is create what I like to call a homework video. A homework video is kind of like VSL number 2, I'd say. It is a video that I have my setters send to leads before they take the call. I'll put this into the email automations. I'll put it in the SMS automations. The goal is to get them to consume this, homework video before the call. It helps with buy-in, helps with show rates, helps improve close rates downstream. Basically, I want them to be educated, informed before they hop on that call with my closers. That's really the goal of the homework video. Now, it's very information dense, an information heavy video. That's the goal of it. But that being said, it's still a sales asset. It's still, the overwhelming goal of this homework video is still getting them bought in. So the reason why I write that kind of long form VSL first is because all I'm going to do is I'm going to take that and I'm going to slightly tweak it in order to make it a homework video. So obviously there's some things you have to remove. It's like, this is when they've already entered the ecosystem. They have already filled out the application, booked a call. So I'm going to go in, I'm going to remove all of those CTAs that are pushing them to book a call. I get that out of the way. And, it's more focused on kind of like just everything that they need to know. For example, on my VSLs, I'll always have an FAQ section at the end of it. I'll always have a section on, the founder, who he or she is, what their background is, why they're the most qualified person to do this. I'll have a section on, competitors, other options, what else they're looking for, why this is the best option for them. I'll lay out exactly what the product or service is, how it benefits them, what are the timelines seeing results, what is the clear outcome that they're getting. I'm laying out just everything in this, just like a VSL, except the framing is a little bit different. The goal is to be more of like an informational asset that answers all their questions before they hop on the call. But at the end of the day, it's still just a VSL. So that's kind of my 3 VSL structure. Got the long form VSL, have the short form VSL. I'll run both of those on ads. And then I have the homework video, which I run is kind of like the middle of funnel VSL. So it's just the VSL that I run for people who are already in my ecosystem. So this has done really well for me. It's made, over $15 million in the last 18 months. So definitely give that a shot, execute that on your own. If you have any questions, feel free to drop them in the comments, and thanks for watching.